So right now I don't have my other camera, well, I don't have the card, so here's what I'm trying to do, or what I'm looking to do. Now, cutting this or tailoring this thing to fit exactly is an absolute beast. It's really, really difficult. Sorry, I'm killing the light. So I can only get it to a certain degree of fit, right? I can't do it with these hands, not right. There's only a certain degree of fit I can get it to, which is about there, right? Now I could, what's going to happen is if we get this in that place, then I'm only going to take off a little tiny bit and we'll be just left with a little hint of this material left once we've rerouted. We only need 3mm, right? So this is overkill and most of it's going to go. Now I'm slightly concerned that I don't want a big gap and I don't want to be filling it with stuff. Oops. So I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do it with that stuff is called resin. Is it resin? Yes, black resin, because I just want this to disappear as much as possible. To be honest, there's no alternative way. The only other way of doing this is to widen this pickup cavity by 3mm in that direction. So really what that means is kind of extending it, sorry you can't see, extending it out a little bit in this direction. That's just shadows, by the way, it looks odd. Anyway, so what I don't have to, without taking the bridge off, I can't put the template on it and see. But I guess if I trying to find a way of holding this up. Let's have a look. Hold on. Let's see if this will hold in place. Not very good, is it? No, that's not terribly good. Let's just sort of dangle that there and see what happens. Stay there. Right, it's not a very good thing, but that's all I can do without holding on to it and not being able to work at the same time. So this is the poor man's camera work. So if I were to stick this here, we do have a very small amount of movement required. So if I just, first of all, not the sharpest blade in the box. Sorry, I'm disappearing this. So this is a, just to, before anyone gets kind of all snarky about it, the reason for this mistake is something that I knew or I understood a long time back, and I got caught out by it. And the catch out is this. I've known for a while that I don't want to confirm the position of my cavities until I've made sure that the neck is fitted. And sometimes you change necks, and believe it or not, the necks sit slightly differently. Before you know it, if you're not careful, you're a mil or two out of, it can be as much as a millimetre or two out of position, and that's what's happened here. And so it's really annoyed me. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm just sort of drawing my version of what this would look like if I recut this. So we go up the side here, it wouldn't be that big. Oh. My stomach's rumbling, I need tea. Blimey. Go along there. So kind of like that. It's a very bad drawing and it's not important. But that's what we'll be doing. Now the question is, if I were to do that now without adding the insert into it, how would it look? Well, first of all, we'd get this to move over quite a bit. We could get it to move, but then there'd be more of a gap on that side. So I guess what I'm trying to do is, well, I'm going to obviously do both. I'm going to fill a bit of this and extend a bit of that. And if that doesn't look any good or doesn't work, then I guess it will be good enough to give away to somebody, you know, whatever. This is an iron gear pickup, which I could reuse or whatever. So what I'm thinking of right now is, while you're looking at that, I can't really do much else right now, it's all a bit cockeyed. I'm going to, last job of today in my messy shed is I am going to figure out a system with some resin, and then when that's done, I've got the resin ready, I'm going to, I'm not doing very well tonight. I push that in like that from there, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of a grip on there, and then we're going to pull in and lock that in place like that. So the first part of the game is to get some of my, I don't know how much you can see there, not very much. Let's try. No, that's no good. Yeah, something like that. Where are we? Hello. Yes, so that's what you get when you're not actually filming yourself. Well, you're not, oneself isn't filming. Now, this is hard to always gauge the amount of, but I'm going to do the same amount of each, and then I'm going to use this to lock it in place. And what I might do, afterwards, once it's in place, I might look at filling it in underneath, just to make sure that it's more solid. What I didn't want to do with this piece is try and work a much larger piece of material, because that would just be even harder than working this relatively solid but thin piece was. Okay, so here we go. This is our mixture, and I'm going to want this to stay in place, set overnight. It's pretty good, this resin. This is what do we call it? JB Weld. Excuse me. And you know, you can do all manner of things with different colour. Sort of call myself out there. You can do lots of things with different coloured, you know, wood glues and resins and so on and so on. But what I really want to do with this is just have something that's really strong. I don't really mind too much if it's a dark colour. I mean, yeah, it would be better if it was wood or eccy coloured, but it's not going to be. Let's try and do this. This would be better if I had brand new sharp tools, but sharp blades. So what I'm looking to do is just protect and make it easier to protect overspill, so I don't have to worry about spilling it out, and I don't want it to get on the surrounding wood. And I've got a dull blade, it's not helping. Okay, well, that will do. So I'm going to get myself aligned, and they're two different shapes, believe it or not. And we've got one that's going to go under there and blob it on in there. Again, this, we can afford to overrun now onto this green tape. It won't need much of this goo, that's for sure, but we can always file off anything or Dremel off anything that's excessive that we don't want in the way. And then we'll put a bit on here. Now, probably hang on a sec. What I could probably do without is stuff on the top of here, but actually I don't really have an awful lot of choice. If that's going to come out, it's going to come out. I need to see the edge as well, so it's probably better that I can. Now it's going to fill, the point of this is it's got to fill a bit of the gap here. It isn't watertight, airtight fit, and I'm really annoyed because, well, not annoyed, I wish I could have something, a tool or a laser cutting system that would allow me to make reciprocal shapes exactly the way they should be. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to push this in as close as I know it's got to be, and while I'm at it I'm going to try and take off some of this here excess, which is useful. Get another thingy. Right. Again, clean that off. Remove some excess if we can, keeping it as neat as possible. Now, challenge now will be to get this to clamp it without everything moving. So let's put this in here like this, drop that down there like that. See that? How pain in the butt can you get? So that doesn't really want to go in square onto the side of this, so let's just give it a go. Okay, now that's trying to pull up and over because it doesn't want to attach onto there. However, let's just have a look where it's sitting. So that probably isn't going to work very well unless I can drop this down so we can get a better grip. Now, just looking at this right now, this is now sitting too proud of the top, which I don't want. So I'm going to go back in here and press it in and fill any gaps. Not ideal. I'd like to have had it just pushed through, fit in one go. But the idea was to get this as closely fitted as possible in one go. Okay. So this is now, as you turn this, it's trying to walk this off to the side. I'm just trying to preserve or protect the eckie here. Okay, well, if that stays there, that isn't actually altogether too bad. And then if I just get my thingy, just remove these sticky up bits. Now what I'm thinking of doing is if that looks okay as an insert, then what I might do tomorrow once it's set is just fill underneath to give it a stronger grip. Unfortunately that's wasted, but that's all I want to do tonight anyway. So there was my little idea of a fix. Unless I had some sort of laser cutter that I can actually get a reciprocal shape out of something, I'm not going to really get that much better than that. But right now that's going to hold, and it has a degree of fit on it. That's what I feel. My lovely neighbours. Hello, lovelies. Could be a fraction proud for all I can see here, but it'll do. What we can actually do, just to get a feel of it, to do that at this point. Yeah, maybe. So the other issue about this is if I have to do any what's the word, oiling on top of this, because it's already been oiled. Have a look at this. Now that appears to be just, I have to say, slightly up where I want it. So before it dries, I'm going to tap it down. Which now looks like it's going to set, but it's going to not be complete filled fit, so I might have to fill in those bits again afterwards. So I guess it's a matter of just getting it set in place at the right height, sitting above the body. Just kind of making it up a bit here. There you go. Get that in. You can see I'm just, yeah, I'm literally touch and go. Just trying to get it to stay somewhere we need it. Not bad. Okay, not bad at all. So, oh God, is that all right? That's all right. Put that there, so if it falls off, it's not going anywhere. Right. So that's my little insert done. That's as good as I can do it. Believe me, I can't do it any better. So, thanks for watching. See you in a bit.